Hey guys, Ranger282 back with a new review, and today I am bringing you the Valvemax Megazord. And one thing to mention, I may have mentioned it in my previous video, I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but this is the High Octane Megazord, the shiny version. I got these guys in a double pack at Target, and I think it was a pretty good value considering they were $30 together, and that's usually the normal asking price of a Megazord around where I live. So I thought it was a pretty good value. I did enjoy that, and the fact that this guy's all chromed out, and the only way you can get him all chromed out is while doing it yourself, or buying this specific pack. So anyway, this guy will be back later. For now, we're sticking with these guys. I believe in Japan you had to buy the High Octane all together, and then you bought each one of these individually. Well, we get them all together. However, we sacrifice electronics for durability, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I guess let's just get started with Tail Spinner over here. At least I believe that's its name. If I'm wrong, blame Wikipedia. But we've got basically an orca on top of a tricycle, since it has 3 wheels. The roll is quite nice. It's good enough for anyone to play with, and as for me, it's just enough that it won't roll off of my shelf every 10 minutes, which is definitely a good thing. But back to that durability thing, this breaks right apart. I don't know if it's just mine or if it's all the American version, but as you can see, it snaps right back together. This is kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing. While we lose the electronics and the sounds and whatnot, we are getting a lot more durability in the fact that, like I said, this snaps right off. I mean, most of these pieces stay pretty well together, but should you be really rough with your toys and you like to bash them against each other, or if you're a collector like me and stuff rolls off the shelf, this will break a lot easier on impact, and therefore it won't shatter to pieces that are unrepairable without glue. And I do appreciate that. I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it was more of like a byproduct that just happened to be good, and I'm just recognizing it as something that they did on purpose. But either way, I do like the fact that they are less easy to break. But just like in the show, he does rotate around and around on his little tricycle here. But that's really all there is to him. You can open the back here and open this little back slot to reveal an engine sole. However, I don't have his in here. I have the green morpher thing. So, yeah. Not sure where his is at the moment, but put him over here and move on to Wolf Cruiser. This one's just my favorite overall. I just like the color scheme. I like the very monochromatic kind of color scheme to it. And doesn't really do much. Has 4 working wheels. It's a vehicle. There's not much you can do with it. You can open the back here to reveal the black engine sole. The only way I believe you can get this in America, well, this specifically the American version, is to buy the little gun. And I will mention now that I do have the gun as well as the 2 morphers, and I don't plan to do them because they're just that bad. They're just really that bad. Unless you guys want to specifically request it with a comment or a message to me, I don't plan to do it. But if you guys do want to see it, I'll do it. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to the last guy here. I believe it's Croc Carrier. Sounds good to me. He's obviously the biggest one, who will form most of the Megazord. And, I mean, he doesn't really do much, but you can open and close the mouth. But when you do open the mouth, it does reveal an engine sole that always like to fall out. But as you can see, that's number 6. And just kind of slips right back in there, close the mouth. And there's not really much to him. One complaint I do have is the fact that he does have 14 wheels, but only the front 2 and the back 2 work. All the rest are fake, which is kind of annoying, but they did fix it and make it able to actually roll by installing this little wheel here as well as these 2. So it does still roll, but it's just a little annoying that they didn't make all the wheels real. I don't know if that's the way it is in the Japanese version too, but it's just a minor complaint. But I guess let's just get to the transformation. Basically, go ahead and just break him in half. Next, you're just going to kind of pull this apart and move these out to kind of create the illusion of feet. So it kind of balances, but not quite as well as I'd like. Now, I'm going to lay this down simply because every take I've done so far, he's just kind of collapsed and shattered to pieces. However, proving once again the durability, I snap them all right back on. Anyway, next go ahead and pull this little piece out. Whip the alligator head down to reveal the little head on the inside. Basically what you're going to do with this piece is kind of wrap it around his head, since it does in fact open, and it just kind of secures in place, and that would be the head. Move these pieces up to make the shoulder pieces. Next, connect it back on, and there's the majority of the body. Hopefully it doesn't fall, but we'll see. For Wolf Cruiser here, slide him out, and he will make a clicking noise when he locks into place. However, you didn't really hear it. There we go. Next, go ahead and break these two back wheels off and secure it into secure the peg into a hole on the top to create the illusion of a scope. Go ahead and snap that piece on. I'm going to lay him back down because I know he's trying to fall over. As for this guy here, rotate him around, throw these two wheels into the back, like so. Go ahead and snap him on as well. And there we have the Valvemax Megazord. Overall, the color scheme's a little bit awkward, but it is kind of just a mishmash of Zords. It obviously wasn't planned that in the show or in the toy form that this would be an actual Megazord they use often. However, I think overall for what seems to be a kind of jerry-rigged Zord at the last moment, it did turn out quite nice. So there you have the Valvemax. Now I'll show you the combined form with High Octane. Basically, just go ahead and take everything and put it back to roughly the way it was with this guy. The only difference is you're going to leave the two pieces, well, as two pieces, like that. Let's bring in High Octane. Go ahead and slide these feet in, just for future transformation pieces. Go ahead and take the arms, fold them in, as well as rotate them around, like that. Go ahead and flip this little piece up over here. Do the same with the other arm. I'm just going to kind of do it real quick to save time. Like that. Now basically we can snap in Tail Spinner as well as Wolf Cruiser on both sides. This would normally be sort of a mode on all its own. And much like Overdrive, they would kind of just snap in random pieces as needed. But now we take these pieces and flip these out to reveal these two little holes that the pegs will snap into on the feet. Like that. Do the same with the other half of Croc Carrier. I'm trying not to let it all break apart, like so. Take this little helmet piece, flip the pieces outward like that, and that would be the face for the new Megazord. It just kind of goes on. It doesn't really snap in place or stay in place well. It just kind of bounces. But there you have it, the combined form. There is really no articulation. The most you can do is move the shoulders, but the artificial arms here do tend to slide off or snap off often. But there you have the combined form. I think it looks kind of nice, but I feel like it's almost ridiculous when you keep adding the other pieces, which I sadly don't have. But I did like the whole idea of just constantly combining onto one Megazord as opposed to having 7 different ones. But like I said, I thought it was a neat concept. But there you have it, the Valvemax combined with High Octane. So Ranger 282, I will see you guys next review.